My strategy is learn right now. There are 37 pages in this book. So learn. Now I'm in a different location. Now I'm going to fix this location subconsciously in different page. Now, it's not obviously a fail-safe procedure, but Tolstoy's War and Peace, there's thousands of pages. You can't possibly go to 1,000 different locations. My ceramics teacher once gave me this good advice. Then when you want to study, just switch up places, because then the brain gets it stimulates new novelty. But for 1,000 I can't do that for Tolstoy, but I have to find a different method for Tolstoy. And so now I'm gonna go for a different page. That one I loved it because it's like mud. I never knew he touched his eyes. So it's like interest. Now I can just continue. The man could see, the sick woman and the blind man were healed, because and you also have to understand, a man who that's how they learn Quran in madrasa in Bangladesh, who are not literate. A man who was blind, came. What did he do? Came to Jesus. Jesus, what? He touched his eyes with mud. It's simple, but that's how you're supposed to do it. Now what happened? Now the man could see. The sick women and the blind man were healed because of their faith in God and Jesus. Now the man, it's easy, so I can just repeat it, but well, now about will stay. You all know about Ebbinghaus formula, right? For getting curve. Like you start off right now, it start off good, but the curve is gonna dip soon, like my metric in algorithm. Now the man could see, the sick woman and the sick woman. So there was a sick woman and the blind man were healed because of their faith in God and Jesus. Waiting in my car and going over this. So I tried to go for 2 rules: no rote memorization, no forcing yourself to study, but only when you love it, when you're interested. So I just browse like coffee table. Just stare at a picture, whatever. Like just you just have to soak it up. That's what really soaking it up means. It's not like you're structured, logical, painted by memorized by numbers type. No, you literally have to love it. You literally enjoy it. But the problem with War and Peace is it's boring. It's boring. It's like ugh. And but even if something's interesting, like Count of Monte Cristo, Dumas, it's a gigantic book. Still so much of information, complexity. So, but I'll see if I can subconsciously pick it up just by browsing it. If it works, then we'll use the same technique on the bigger engine. So you also have to, suppose I say, what was on page 23? I said the jealous man wanted to, if I think the memory is subtle, I could have thought the jealous man wanted to get. I could have thought the get is on the second line. So it's like jealous man wanted to get, because you also have to remember where the location. So memory is not just the content, the location. It's like photograph. That's what. But I don't have photographic memory. You just have to browse. And then we all familiar with the story of Genesis, like the whole timeline of Bible. So that helps. It's like low content. And if I can master this in karate, they say if you can't fight sitting down, what do you want to do? What do you want to do standing fight? It's like balance is the important thing. Basically, it's like learning. How many pages are there? 35, I think. Yeah, a bit 37. But this is learning 37 flashcards, basically. Picture, large, giant size, large picture flashcards. And so it should be easy, but let's see how it comes out tomorrow. And ideally, you also have to know this, because when someone says ask me anything, it basically means the whole freaking book. So I have to learn the barcodes, from everything from barcode. And I actually made a hypnosis. I paid $100 to make me a custom hypnosis where it it guides me to say that I know the book, the induction, with a complete induction. So I have to know everything, American Bibles, and everything here, and this is a large paragraph. So it's not just that; it's entirety. And sleep is another thing. I woke up today at 3 a.m. I haven't got enough sleep. I can't focus. Like, sleep is nootropic. Hollywood actors use sleep to solidify their memories. It's just like memory when you have impression. It's like Polaroid. But it takes time to set in, and it takes at least a week. If I learned something today, it takes at least a week. Now, obviously, people who memorize the Quran, they can rip it verbatim. They can just rip the whole thing, and it takes them, like in Palestine. I heard that like they train them they force them to study like rote memorization from like dawn to dusk, and it takes freaking. They said they can do it in a month or something. That's the best record in a month. Imagine that. So it is possible. It is possible, but that's hard work. Not, am I willing to put in that hard work, or just do I have to like take the easier or subconscious smart route? Actually, main problem is interest. Why is it that we cricket nerds can remember virtually any stats, almost? Because it's like flesh and blood. It's it's like flesh and blood. It's as powerful as live as that, visceral as that, because we love it. Interest. Mozart says genius is love. Love is secret to genius. So you have to like love. You have to have complete undivided focus. That comes from interest. That comes from playfulness. That comes from that's what sparks creativity. Boredom, rote, like mechanical. I'm not a believer in that. But the problem is you get lazy. You don't have discipline. If you like too much, or if you want to love everything. But see, at the end of the day, if you don't love it, now I don't have this. Remember this Bible. I have no vested interest other than that, just a flex. Tolstoy, no vested interest other than just a flex, like flex. But cricket, it's like it's. They have a term called autotelic, on its own volition. People who are into insect nerds, bug nerds, freaking astronomy nerds, they love it on their own. Bible nerds. But the problem, what happens was when you go shift from one subject to another, like cricket. If you don't hate cricket, you know nothing about statistics, let alone you know nothing about players, let alone statistics. Well, first one page, page 34. A man came to Jesus who was blind. Jesus touched his eyes with blood. Page 34. Let me check it out. Bite-sized. What did I say? A man who was blind came to Jesus. Did I say that? Jesus touched his eyes with mud. So I think we got 34 down. The man who was blind came to Jesus. Jesus touched his eyes with mud. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 words. Done. Change of strategy. Instead of going to 37 different locations, why not just use the technique that I use, which is breaking it down, what really happened. So let's just go there. Now the man could see. So what happened? Now the man could see, and who? The sick woman and the blind woman were healed. What happened? While healed, why? Because of their faith. Faith in who? God and Jesus. Okay, now let's go to Jesus loved everyone, big and small. He told the children to come to him. Jesus blessed the children. He will always be our friend. Okay, I just looked at it for 1 second. Can I repeat it? Let me see. That's real photographic memory. Okay, no, whatever. But Jesus loved everyone. I forgot. And we love, I don't know. Yeah, big and small. See? Photograph. This. If I had natural photograph memory, it'd be immediate, like locked in. So what was it? So and that's why I need repetition. But Jesus loved everyone. But Jesus. See, that's a but conditional. But Jesus loved everyone. Who? Big and small. He told the children. He did what? He told the children to come to him. He told the children to come to him. Jesus blessed the children. Jesus blessed the children. Jesus, well, let's break it down. Now the man could see, but Jesus loved everybody. That's why he told the children to come to him. Jesus blessed the two children. Now he's becoming analytical. Now it's not becoming the intuitive subconscious mind, and you can't be too analytical. Then it'll just fry up your brain. He'll always be your friend. So there are like 4 sentences here, and I forgot the first ones. Okay, now we'll kind of remember. Now the man could see. Now let's fill in the blanks. One day people brought their children to see Jesus. Some men tried to send the children away. This is easy. It's like 2 sentences. Even though these are 4 simple sentences, there are 4 of them, and they're kind of confusing. So like, even though they're simple, see, how can you manage to learn Gray's Anatomy, Oxford English Dictionary, Tolstoy, like freaking the whole library, memorize Wikipedia, like memorize Britannic, if you can do the simple thing? Thing is, how much you're willing to spend. As Tony Robbins would say, I can spot out right in the crowd who works out, because you can tell from the body. They're so ripped, they're muscular, because it shows. It shows they put on the work. So if I spend fucking 800 hours on it, it's gonna show. If I take Tolstoy's one, like they say, Shulgin, what's his name? The Shulgin chart psychedelic. He was stuck in navy. I don't think he worked for navy or something. Like he was in this vessel, like ship, and he had this encyclopedia, this big technical manual, chemistry manual, handbook, this big old fat ass. He knew it. He completely knew it because he was stuck. He was stuck in this, and that's all he had. So if I'm forced myself, that's what I wanted to do. Like a lot of time, but I fail. Like Gödel's incompleteness theorem, Gödel's thesis on incompleteness theorem is like 23 pages, extremely dense, extremely complex. I thought I'll memorize it. I booked myself a hotel, and couldn't. So you need to do it in discipline, but that's a force. But now I have to choose. Do I force myself to learn Tolstoy, or do it intuitively? Because both techniques, it matters what techniques you use. If I use mnemonics, I'll remember with mnemonics, and sometimes I fumble because I use mnemonics. I'm relying on mnemonics. Now you have to know you need a mnemonic to learn a mnemonic too. So another thing is like if you learn wrong, you'll also say wrong. So the clean practice matters. Perfect practice matters. Oh my god, it's recording. You can turn it off.